What's up? We are live. Looks like we're loading in. Got a couple people in the chat. I don't know if you can see me and hear me all right. Just responding to this message, and then we will get going. So if you're here in the chat, go ahead and drop a message. Let me know you're here and ask any questions you got. Actually, I'll go ahead and share this question. Someone just DM'd me. What is your purchase criteria your VAs you're sourcing for? And basically, what I'm telling him is my team looks for 4.25 minimum profit, $4.25, 25% ROI for my client leads, 20% for my personal business. And then we're looking at we want to be able to see sales of at least like 20 to 25 units per month. And obviously that's gonna, depend on what you need, how much capital you have. If you have less capital, you should focus on higher return leads, higher profit, all that good stuff. So definitely depends on the where you're at in your business and also the type of business that you want to run. I run a high volume, lower margin style business. And yeah. What's up, Jamie? Talk me through your sourcing process, just brute force manual sourcing or reverse sourcing, sales sourcing, all. Yeah, so my team does all my sourcing and it's all manually done. I mean, we're using things like Keepa, obviously, and then we use SellerAmp to help speed up the process, but it's all manual. So they'll manually go through website sales and then using SellerAmp, what they'll do is they'll click on the product page, activate SellerAmp, and then it'll automatically look for listings on Amazon. So they're doing that to help speed up the process, and then they're also using it to speed up storefront stocking. So in SellerAmp, they're clicking on the storefront, and then SellerAmp, I don't know how familiar you are, they have like their whole own UI that shows the person's storefront, and it's just much more friendly because like right there it shows the Keepa graph, the estimated profit, and all that. So they're using SellerAmp to speed it up, but it's all a manual process. And yeah, it's really just brute force putting in the reps. I think they also use DS Amazon Quick View, like the Pro version. We pay for that, and I think that helps speed up storefront stocking as well. Yeah, SellerAmp is absolutely worth it. I'm not super familiar with Zen. We have it, but it's just kind of like a backup. We use it the same as like RevSeller. So we just use it as a profit calculator. I don't know if it has other features beyond that, but like I said, we use SellerAmp to. I'll see if I can pull up some examples actually, but I definitely have a video. I'll drop a link and then I'll see if I can pull up some examples. But yeah, it's definitely worth it. I mean, it's 20 bucks a month and it helps you find the product pages faster and also speed up reverse sourcing. Where's it at? So here's the link to a video that I have that shows this process. And then let me see what my screen share would look like if I could just show a couple examples. Supposed to open up GameStop. Video games. Let's see if this will work on a screen share. Yeah, okay. So share screen. Boom. All right, so let's pretend that this was like a website sale that we wanted to go through. What my team would do is they would just open up pretty much everything in a new tab. I'll just open up these four for the sake of the example. And then they would go into the actual product page, and then up here, my StreamYard symbol is kind of blocking it, but I'm activating the SellerAmp Chrome extension, and then it automatically shows you the potential product pages. Obviously, it's not always going to find a match, but it's usually pretty good about showing you that. And then from there, we're just clicking in to the one that looks like it's going to be a match, and it takes us directly to the Amazon page. So rather than having to copy this, go to Amazon, paste the title or grab the UPC or whatever, it's just automatically doing that for you. And then kind of the same thing, but it can help out on reverse sourcing as well. Having revamp how I source this year. Yeah, right on. Are you still doing a lot of A to A, Jamie? So with manual sourcing, you find the products hold price better. Yeah, absolutely. So yes, so we're sending in stuff faster already because my prep center ships for us daily, which a lot of people is only like, once a week, maybe twice a week. Or my prep center ships daily, so that's one huge advantage. But really, kind of the main reason why I stopped using tactical arbitrage and we went the full manual route is because it provides more longevity. Because there's less people finding the leads, and so obviously there's going to be less tanking happening. So that's why we use this method. 35% A to A, sweet. I am doing an 8A flip right now. I don't do a ton of them, and I feel like this one's really weird because Amazon is always on the listing or almost always on the listing, but they're still giving rotation at double their price, which is interesting. But I guess the volume's just so good. There must be like a geographical component. Yeah, yeah, for sure. It just makes sense. Like the more hard work that has to go into finding a product, manual sourcing, for example, then obviously the longer it's gonna happen. And that's the case with like anything you do. The more you have to put into it, it's less likely that other people are doing it too. Like right now I have a product that I'm buying like a few hundred units of, but I can't buy more than 5 at a time. How many people are going to sit there and check out like 5 units and then order and then just repeat that hundreds of times throughout the week? Like that's just one competitive advantage and it's why it's such a really good product. Yeah, I know. I'm really lucky with the prep center I have because a lot of them are just shipping once or twice a week, and they're shipping for me daily, which is awesome. That's insane. 20 at a time, 9,000 units, man. And what I don't get is that they allow like unlimited checkouts. Some sites, obviously, a lot will shut you down or whatever, but some sites will allow unlimited checkouts, but then you can't buy more than a few units at a time. Like, right, why not just let me do a bulk order? It'll save you money on shipping. It'll save your logistics because you'll have to pack less orders. I don't know. Whatever. It's another barrier and it lets us have more profitable leads. You guys didn't see yesterday, I dropped a free virtual assistant hiring kit just to kind of help you all with your hiring process. It's pretty basic, but it's free. It comes with a list of questions that I ask in the interview. There's a sample job posting, and then what else? Oh, an interview scheduler, or just a basic Google sheet, but pretty handy. I'll go ahead and drop a link here if anyone wants to check it out. Like I said, it's 100% free. So if you're thinking about hiring a VA, you should go ahead and grab that. Hopefully, it's helpful. Hey, what's up, Alexi? How's it going? This is a really good question. So for yourself or your VAs, what is a reasonable amount of leads found in an 8-hour period? I've heard 8 to 15. That's pretty high. A lot of the people that I talk to, they say like 4 to 10 is what they're seeing. I tell my VAs to shoot for 8. I would say the average ends up being more like 6 though, but if they can find 8, I'm really happy, and even at 6, they're obviously providing more than enough because they're high quality leads. They're leads that we're gonna be able to do test orders on, come back and replan. They're gonna be long lasting since it's all manual sourcing. So yeah, I'm really happy if they're giving me 6. I like them to shoot for 8. Some days they will find like 15 to 20, but generally I would say the average is around 6, and I'm asking them to shoot for 8. And it also obviously depends on your criteria too. Like if you have looser criteria, then they're going to find you more leads. Or if your criteria is more strict, then they're going to be finding you less leads, obviously. What is your repricing strategy? So we use Seller Snap. It's kind of the top of the line, top of the market repricer. It's more expensive. It's not something I recommend for beginners. When I think is the best time to switch to Seller Snap is when you're selling 20 to 25K a month. Reason for this is they have an accelerator program around that range that drastically reduces the cost. But basically, what we do is we apply a store level minimum ROI of around 20%. And then for our max price, we're using what's called dynamic max pricing. This is something built by Seller Snap, where basically they study the history of the listing, they study the sellers on the listing to figure out what's going to be that ideal max price for each individual listing. Then we're using that, and then the min, like I said, is set at a store level 20%. But one of my VAs will go in there a couple times a week and tweak that as needed. Maybe this product really is always selling for 80% ROI, so we're just going to set a min that's higher. Or maybe this one, it's kind of borderline. We need to drop it down to like a 16, 17% ROI min just to ensure that we're going to have good sell through. So we're tweaking that as needed, like I said, a couple times a week. And we use what's called I think it's just called the AI repricer. It's their flagship AI. We're basically again studying the listing, and it's targeting an equal buy box share among all competitive sellers. So it's really adverse to price tanking, and it also does a good job of capturing new sales, even sometimes above the buy box. And that's what we use. If you're not at that point where you can afford Seller Snap, I recommend Aura. They're a really good rule based repricer. I think they're around $80, $90 a month. And word on the street is they're coming out with AI here pretty soon. So I'm excited to see what that's going to be like. A lot of people use Be Cool and Profit Protector Pro if you want to look into those 2. Yeah, absolutely. And a few percent of margin really adds up. Let me know in the chat what repricer you all are using. Like I said, I'm using Seller Snap. Curious to hear what everyone else is using. Talked about this a bit last night, and I think Be Cool was the popular answer. So we tell Seller Snap to set a 20%. and I think they're basically looking at our cost of goods and then comparing it to the Amazon fees. They unfortunately don't take into consideration our inbound fees, so that's like one of the things we'll adjust. Like if an item's really heavy, then we'll actually set it to maybe like a 35% ROI. It's really a 20%, but to their system, it's looking like it's higher since they're not accounting for our inbound fees. So talk me through a situation. If you were tighter on cash flow, how would you maneuver that in your business? After Amazon dropped premium placement has been an uphill battle for us. Yeah, so we're just targeting faster moving products, one, and going really wide on them. Like our initial orders are generally just 2 to 5, usually 3 to 5 units, and then we slowly start replanning from there. So we're going really wide. A product that we're looking at might sell 100 times a month, but we're just trying to capture 3 of those sales. So we're going really wide. I can tell you what my inventory turn is. Actually, I'm not gonna try it. I'll try and find it, but I don't know if I'll be able to. If anyone knows how to find inventory turn, please drop the pathway because I can never find it. But I was looking the other day, I think it was like 12 point something. It was essentially we were turning through our inventory every 3 weeks. So it was like 13 or somewhere around there. So really just trying to turn our inventory over faster and faster so that we don't have those cash flow problems. I'll see if I can pull up that turn rate. And my sell through is like 5, which I'm curious to hear what everyone else's is as well. Let's see. I don't think I'm going to be able to find my turn rate, but my sell through rate right now is 4.5. What kind of sales would you recommend before moving to Seller Snap? 20 to 25,000. So their normal price is really expensive. It's 500 bucks a month. But if you're under 25,000 in sales, then they'll let you on the accelerator program. This drops the price down to 250, and then you can grab a discount code. I have one in my Discord, and that'll drop the price down to $212.50. So you're going to be stacking that coupon code with their accelerator program, and it more than cuts the price in half. Inventory planning. All right. Yikes. I don't know why this changes so much. So it's really bad right now, but it was really good. I was just looking at it on a call with somebody earlier this week. So right now it's at 6.2. Earlier this week it was around 13, whatever turn rate was around 3 weeks, every 3 weeks. I don't know why that is, but I will be looking into it. Yeah, I need to look into that because that's really bad. But it also changes frequently. 6.5. Yeah, I mean, it depends on your cash flow. For my business, that's bad. Where I'm at a 6.2 is bad. I need to be, I would say, at least 12. I would like to be selling through even faster. Gotcha. How much do you see wholesale becoming a larger part of your business? That's a good question, and my answer to that kind of has changed. Like I think that as I want to grow, wholesale needs to become more and more of my business, but I'm not really at a point where I wanna see a bunch of growth right now. Right now, I'm kind of focused on I wanna push just a tad bit more. Last month, I did 250K. I'd like to get up to around 300K, but I can do that with online arbitrage. I just need to spend a little bit more each day, and I'm working with my team on what our daily spend goals need to be, and they're just, slowly increasing that a bit. Like, within a couple months, there's no problem. We'll be at 300K. And then what I'm really focusing on is just increasing my profitability. So on average, I would see around a 10% net margin. I'd like to get that up to about 14, 15%. And then at 300K, that's a really good profitable business that I don't have to put a bunch of work or time into. I'm good there, and then I'll just start focusing on building other businesses. If I do decide to come back and grow the Amazon more and more, then we probably will do more wholesale. But for now, I don't think it needs to be a ton. Yeah, and I think that kind of answered the question. I don't like even if I wanted to become like a massive seller, I don't think I'd ever do just wholesale because like there's so much low hanging fruit with online arbitrage. There's money to be made with online arbitrage. It's a system that I know well. I don't know why I would ever abandon it completely. Sell through at 1.9. Yeah, yeah, for sure. So tweaking 10 about 2 months ago. At 10 to 14 is kind of where we want to be at least 12. Do you have your prep employees? So, no, I most of my stuff goes to a prep center. I send like some stuff to my house. Like one item I'm sending in like hundreds of units right now and it's just single sticker prep and it's really cheap. So I'm just going to send it here, pay the tax, put some stickers on it and send it out cuz I can send out a few hundred units in under an hour. So I'll just do that here. But most of my stuff goes to a prep center and we're just paying them a fee per unit. Do we have a launch date yet? I'm assuming you're asking about the outsource everything program, and it'll be coming out before the end of the month. I don't have an exact date, but someone just asked this the other day. 2 to 3 weeks, it'll be released sometime before the end of the month. I'm gonna guess that last week of January, and it's most likely going to be coming through on Teachable. And anyone who already signed up, I'm just going to give you a 100% off code, and then you'll go to Teachable, repurchase it, but you'll use your 100% off code, and then that way you'll just have access through Teachable. Yeah, I'm excited for that. I'm mainly just trying to get like some interviews done. So what'll probably end up happening is like the main bulk of the course will come out at the end of January, and then we'll sprinkle in bonuses like interviews, some additional files, things like that, and we'll do like live calls for a while too. Does the roadmap include group calls? Are you referring to the outsource everything program? Or because there's another program out there called the FBA roadmap. So I just want to make sure I know what you're asking about. Just let me know if you're talking about my program or not. Yeah, you're talking about my program. So yeah, we're gonna do some group calls at the beginning. I don't want to say like we're gonna do them every week forever or something like that. I'm definitely gonna be available to answer your questions, and we'll hop on group calls from time to time. But I'm not saying like this is a set time frame that we're always gonna do them. Yeah, we'll do them more frequently at the beginning, and then we'll continue to do them. I would guess like once a month or so, but I'm not gonna make any promises on that. But I'll definitely be available in the Discord and Instagram and stuff to help you guys out. Yeah, we're definitely buying a lot of SKUs. Like it's a lot. But thankfully I have good systems in place, good review process and a good buyer train, so it's not too bad. Is Cisco? No, Cisco's not part of it. I'm sure he's happy to answer your questions too, but no, he's not like a part of the program or anything. Cisco is you can hit him up about where he's at and his outsourcing. I don't want to speak for him. But yeah, flipping it with Cisco, definitely hit him up and you can talk to him about that. Yeah, for sure. This might be jumping ahead. Are you going to point us to specific prep centers? Yeah, I'm definitely going to have a list of ones that I've worked with and ones that I know are reputable. The thing is, if they're going to have spots for you, right? Because a lot of the online arbitrage prep centers are full and at capacity. So yeah, I'll have a list for you and talk about like what makes a good prep center and all that. I know Heroic Prep recently announced that they have openings, and Network Prep has a couple. Those are both two really good ones. You should check them out. Um, I think Network Prep is a minimum of 500 units, and Heroic Prep is 1,000. So yeah, you could definitely reach out to them. I would go ahead and make those calls, hit them up, and just see, uh, yeah, see if they have a room for you if you guys can do business together. Based in Oregon, I think Network Prep's in Oregon. They have one in Texas, and I believe their other one is in Oregon. Yeah, Heroic is really good. They were my first prep center, and like when I first started really getting into online arbitrage, I was with Heroic Prep. I think I was one of their first clients actually. They were in the insiders growth group from Hustle Buddies, and they came on and kind of talked about prep centers, and I decided to sign up with them. And then I eventually left them. They didn't do anything wrong. I just decided to start my own prep center, which obviously ended up not working out. Yeah, I was with Heroic for a while. They were really solid. They ship once a week. It's pretty fair pricing, really good communication. Highly recommend. Oh, it's after 7 p.m., guys. Don't forget to get your payouts. Mhm. Alright. Alright. We'll go for 5 more minutes or so. So if you have any more questions, please drop those in the chat. Are the tricks worth it to reduce the number of warehouses I'm assuming we need to ship to, or just go with Amazon? Can you elaborate a bit on what you mean? Are the tricks worth it? Are you referring to like adjusting quantities? Yeah, adjusting quantities. Yeah, absolutely. I don't know why. I don't see any downside to it. So basically, an inventory lab, I think you can do it in Seller Central too. I've only ever done it in Inventory Lab, but you can adjust your numbers between 1 and 6 or 1 and 7. It's somewhere around there. And then I think it's 11 and 18 or 12 and 18. So, like, let's say you have 3 of an item and you want to make sure they're all going to go to the same warehouse. You'll build the shipment based on you just having one item, and then you'll adjust the quantities up to 3. So Amazon thinks you only have one initially, and obviously if you just have one of something, it's going to go to the same place. But then after the shipment's created, you adjust the quantities up to 3. And yeah, I would say it's definitely worth it. I don't see any downside. Yeah, shoes, I think often, like when I was running my prep center, they would often just go to their own fulfillment center. So there's some things that you can't necessarily avoid, but adjusting quantities can help for sure. Yeah, cool. Do you do OE or wholesale? Enjoying the stream? Awesome, Benji. Thank you for stopping by, dropping a message. I do mostly online arbitrage, but a bit of wholesale. I would say in the last few months, my wholesale has been probably 15 to 20% of my business. Now it's probably more like 10 to 15%. I'm not like a consistent wholesale person. I just have when opportunities come up, I'll buy, those wholesale opportunities. But a majority online arbitrage. That's what we do. That's our bread and butter every day. So I'm mostly OA. Yeah, I'm not looking forward to this new workflow. Anytime Amazon makes changes, it's usually not for the best. It's at least a hard learning curve, in my opinion. And I wish they would just keep it the way it is, but thankfully we use Inventory Lab, so that takes care of most of the process. Yeah, me too. I don't know if much will change on Inventory Lab's end. I don't think much will. Could be wrong though. What program and system do you use to keep track your purchases and replans? So we keep track of all of our purchases initially in Google Sheets, and then it goes into my prep centers system that they have. I think it's custom built for them, and then from there it migrates into Inventory Lab. So we're keeping track of everything in that process. And then as far as our replans, I most of our replens honestly come from just looking at what's selling throughout the day, and if something's selling fast, like I said earlier, our initial test orders are like 3 to 5 units. So if I see 5 units selling within like an hour, then obviously we're going to go and replen that. So that's where most of our replens come from. It's just looking at the sales, but we also use Seller Board, and it kind of shows us, okay, you have this ASIN, it sold this fast, it takes this long to get in, you need to order it on this day. So there's a lot of data there that we can look at, and we use that. I would say we're looking at that once or twice a week, but on a daily basis, we're just looking at what's selling and do we want to restock it. Yo, what's up? Revenue in my inventory lab is off by 20K in sales in November. That's weird. My initial thought was you were talking about January, and sometimes it's just takes a little bit to catch up. That is really weird. I would reach out to them and see where the discrepancy is. That's weird. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking of a few things, maybe returns, maybe merchant fulfilled shipping charges. I don't know. Yeah, you should reach out to them and see what's going on. Do you use gift cards? Card Cookie, never heard of them, but they have to manually check each order, so it can be slow depending on time of day. We don't use a ton of gift cards. If we do, it's just from Raise. I'm not too hip on all the different sites that you can buy them, and we just use them from Raise sometimes. It's not something we consistently do. All right, 2 more minutes, guys. So any more questions, drop those, and then I'm gonna hop off for the night. Yeah, open orders is another good idea. Favorite sourcing methods for OA? I'm familiar with reverse sourcing and storefront stocking. Starting out and quickly realizing sourcing is the hardest part. Yeah, for sure. You got to find those products in order to, build a successful Amazon business. So we like to do manual sourcing. We talked about this at the beginning. So after the stream ends, hop back. It was like at the very beginning we talked about this. But basically, I do all manual sourcing because it leads to more longevity in the leads, meaning more profit, and I'm going to be able to replenish it more times. We do manual storefront stocking and manually going through website sales. We obviously use Keepa, and then we use SellerAmp to speed up that process. And I'll go ahead and link the video again where I show how we use SellerAmp in more detail. But basically, you can go to a product page and it'll automatically pull up the Amazon page for you. So that speeds it up there. And they also have a really good user interface for speeding up the storefront stocking process as well. And yeah, as soon as this live stream ends, you should definitely go check out this video here. I think it's only like 8 or 9 minutes long, and it'll show you that process and a screen share so you can really understand what I'm saying with how we use SellerAmp. What would you say your monthly software expenses are? So I think I have 5 Keepa accounts, which is $100 a month. SellerAmp, $20 a month. RevSeller is like 120 a year. Asenzen, I think, is like 15 a month. Inventory Lab, 70 a month. Yeah, so as far as all the sourcing software we use, I have a VPN that's like $10 a month. So 200-ish, but half of that is Keepa because I have such a large team. We have to have 5 accounts. Probably like 250 once you add an inventory lab, $250 a month. Yeah, I was talking about Sellerboard earlier. I don't use it for accounting. I know some people do, but we use it to kind of keep an eye on our restocks. There's a lot of features to it. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for stopping by. If you have any questions, anyone has any questions, feel free to DM me on Instagram. Also, join the Discord. It's completely free and you can ask questions there. I'll go ahead and drop this link. Happy to answer any questions in there or on Instagram. Hey, Chris, what's going on? Thanks for stopping by. Fairly new to your page. Recently saw your outsourcing guide and I'm really interested in purchasing it. Any way you can give some more info on it? Yeah, for sure. So, the outsource everything program is, I'll pull up the outline so I can go over this with you guys. But basically, it's a whole program that's going to show you how I've outsourced essentially every aspect of my business, and hopefully how you can do the same once you're ready to start outsourcing. And if you want to outsource literally everything in your business. So in the outline, basically, we're going to start off going over prep, outsourcing prep, all the different ways that you can do that. Prep centers, hiring people, maybe doing some kind of combination of both, which is kind of what I'm doing right now, where most of my stuff goes to a prep center, but some still comes to my house. I've ran a prep center in a warehouse in the past, trained employees, hired employees. So I know both sides, and I'm going to show you the benefits to that. Then we'll go over sourcing, leads list, VAs, domestic employees, buyers, how to hire, train, manage feedback, growth, incentive, all that. There's really a lot that goes into it. Then we're going to go over systems that seal the gaps. So everything from product research to collecting your profits. I'm going to show you my entire system, start to finish, that we use every single day. Back-end tasks, so anything repetitive, aged inventory, repricing, account health, managing feedback, managing your emails, replenishing your inventory, any kind of back-end repetitive task. I'll show you our system for how we did that. Then we'll go over buying in more detail, domestic versus overseas, how you can let them pay, bringing it all together, and scaling once these systems are built. Then I'm also going to provide tons of SOPs and some exclusive interviews as well. Yeah, if you have any more questions about that program, again, feel free to DM me and I'm happy to answer more. Yo, flipping it with Cisco. Shout out with flipping it with Cisco. We were talking about you earlier when you weren't here. Someone was seeing if you were an outsourcing pro yet. Yeah, for sure. All right, last thing that I'm gonna dip. Are you recommending a minimum monthly sales before applying for your course? So I'm generally telling people that you should be selling for at least 6 months. You will know if you're ready to start outsourcing and scaling based on your own volume, but I would say you need to be selling at least 6 months because you need to understand the basics yourself. I can teach you how to hire somebody and train them, but you need to be the one that's going to be doing the training. You can't train somebody if you don't know how to do the tasks yourself. So I would just say I don't think there's generally, a dollar amount, but you need to have some experience. And I'm telling people at least 6 months. I've had some new sellers reach out to me and I tell them, go get some experience, go do product research, go learn this business, and then come back to me and I'll help you build a team that's going to help you scale your business or gain your time back. Yeah, Doughboys. What point in your career? You know, I was just working towards outsourcing and, I didn't want to build this like gigantic Amazon thing. What I really like doing is starting companies. So Amazon is just one thing. I also have my candle company, and then we're starting a couple other businesses this year. What I like is starting and then outsourcing the aspects so that I don't have to work in the business. I can actually work on the business and have the freedom of my time. Yeah, before I sign off, last thing, Cisco, then I'm dipping. I will use ChatGPT to help out with the SOPs. Can you give a Disney quote? It would make my night. Yeah, what's that? We will end this as we end all Doughboys podcasts with a quote. If you can dream it, you can do it. Walt Disney. Peace out, everyone. Thanks for stopping by. We will see you on the next stream, next video. Peace out.